Alright, long form content. People still make that, right? How's it going, guys? It's nice to be talking to you again. I know I've been away for a while and I've been uploading mostly shorts here lately, but life has just been kind of crazy. Job change, life changes, all that other stuff. But I wanted to resume making these videos again and showing you some of my photography work and how it's going to look going forward. And hopefully this is the actual start to something a little bit more meaningful, but we'll see. Maybe by 2025 you'll get a follow-up video to this. Alright, so this summer has been kind of a crazy one, to say the least. I've taken a few trips in the midst of a job change. I also managed to find myself in the hospital a couple of times, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So to kind of start off my summer of fun this year, my family decided to take a trip down to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. If you don't know where that is, it's basically redneck Florida for everyone in the Midwest. Also, right before this trip, I decided to dislocate my shoulder right before the drive, so Miranda was very appreciative of the fact that she had to drive down through the Smoky Mountains instead of me. I didn't take a lot of shots on the way down, because it was mostly just open road and highway the entire time. I've been down to Tennessee a couple of times in my life, and it's never really come across as that scenic to me. Maybe it has to you, but in my opinion, just not a lot going on. We did, however, stop at Buc-ee's. I mean Buc-ee's for the first time in my life. And I will say it's a lot more overhyped than I thought it would be, but the beaver nuggets were still good, so points for that. Not a lot happened on the first day. Really, it was just us all settling in and getting into the groove of things. We cracked open a couple of cold ones that night and just kind of hung out. Not really anything exciting going on. I did get my gear ready the night before, so you're probably wondering what cameras that I brought. On this trip, I decided to bring my Yashica-D TLR camera to take some nice medium format pictures. And then I also brought along my crappy $3 Fuji point and shoot as well. I figured that since my arm had to be in a brace most of the time, I would really just lose the brace to take some medium format shots here and there, and that having the point and shoot would kind of allow me to take pictures with one hand. The ability for a point and shoot to just be able to autofocus on its own was really important to me on this trip. That's kind of why I brought along my lower budget camera, but unfortunately, it's just not reliable at all. Some of these shots are going to be out of focus. I'm kind of noticing an increasing trend with that camera that it's just not reliable. So if you have any suggestions for a new reliable point and shoot camera that isn't the Contax T2, please let me know. After we all got settled in the next morning, I decided to wake up early, make some coffee, and kind of just roam around the camping area that we were in. We stayed in these cabins that were kind of up on this hill, and it kind of made for a lot of scenic shots with the cabins and the mountains in the background. So I loaded up my TLR camera with some, I believe, Kodak Gold 200, and I kind of just walked around the premises and shot some of these shots here. These ones here are probably one of my more favorite shots. I just really like how the lighting ended up on the side of these cabins here. And then I also like this one a lot. I really like the perspective of looking through the bushes and getting a nice depth of field. It's not really that easy to do with this camera with the waist level viewfinder and the lens that's on it, but I feel like it really landed here. So the big activity today was we were going to go to a park. Don't ask me what that park is, I could not tell you. But essentially the park itself is you just stay in your car and drive like a 5-mile loop and hopes to see some wildlife there. And I will say it was very scenic. We did get lucky a couple of times because there was actually a lot of wildlife passing through. I did bring my TLR camera with me. I didn't take too many shots because I was trying to save it for special moments. I believe at the time I had some HP5 loaded up. I thought that the big open plains with the mountains in the background and all that scenery would be really good on black and white, kind of give it an Ansel Adams type vibe. And I believe some of these shots turned out really well. I did save a lot of those shots for when I actually saw wildlife itself. And if you look really closely in the corner of this photograph here, you can actually see a family of bears really small. There was also this really cool like old-timey town that had kind of been preserved within the park. Now, did I take any pictures of it? No, I did not, because I also didn't want to waste any medium format shots here, and I stupidly left my point and shoot back at our cabin. So here's just a nice raging brook for you. The next morning, it was kind of just a little bit more of the same. I decided to take more shots of the cabins, but this time on black and white, since I still had black and white left over from going to the park. I believe a lot of these shots turned out good. A couple of them were a bit underexposed and a little bit more shadowy than I thought they'd be, but it's fine with me. So later that day, we got to go do some more fun activities actually in the more, I guess, touristy areas there. We went kind of towards the Pigeon Forge area where there was a small amusement park. And one thing I kind of have learned to love is actually take black and white pictures in amusement parks.
Oh, my keychain. Are you enjoying all the new
I don't know what it is, but it kind of gives like this weird timeless Americana feel to a lot of these pictures, and I think a lot of them turned out great. These are some of my favorite ones here. This one more or less just so for the memories, and then this one because I just really like the story it tells with the man at the ticket booth with his son. It's something that I believe can be pretty universal to a lot of people that have enjoyed amusement parks before, so I kind of just like that aspect of it. I also think this one is kind of cool because you get this kind of cool framing with this giant cross that's just looming in the background over all this kind of like weird capitalistic amusement park type feel. It kind of feels dystopian with it kind of looming all the way back there like that for some reason, but maybe that's just me. Or maybe I'm just looking for meaning when really there isn't any. So then when we were done with the amusement park, we walked down to kind of a more touristy area where you can go to places like Jimmy Buffett's hotel and things like that. I decided to basically unload my wallet at the Old Smoky distillery, and let's just say that I was really feeling myself after this. It was here that I probably took my favorite photo from this trip, this black and white of the Old Smoky distillery with the Ferris wheel in the background. I just really like how the framing turned out. And there's also kind of just this weird smog across everything. Couldn't tell you what it was, but I don't know. I think it came out really cool. Other than that, I just kind of snapped a few shots here and there until we finally went back to our cabin where we kind of just unwound for the night. It was actually a couple of family members' birthdays while we were there, so we all kind of just gathered and celebrated. Smells really good.
Yay!
It was this day that we finally decided to go do some really touristy things. So we actually drove into Gatlinburg. If you've ever been in downtown Gatlinburg, it's a pretty kitsch place with a lot of kind of trinket shops and tourist traps and stuff like that. But the vibes are still good. It's still a really fun place to go. So I kind of just decided to bring my TLR with me because I thought it'd be kind of cool to get some of those kind of more kitschy looking things on medium format color. And these are some of my favorite shots that I took that day. Again, I managed to find another moonshine stand, and yeah, I need to evaluate my self-control a little bit. But it was still a good time. Everyone enjoyed themselves. And after we went out to eat, we decided to head back to the cabin that day and just kind of chill out for the evening. So sadly, the next morning, it was time for us to kind of pack up and leave. I still had some Kodak Gold shots in my camera that I needed to kill off, so I went ahead and just kind of roamed around again, taking pictures of the cabins and the forest here and there where I could. I am very upset about this shot here because I feel like the framing with the boat on the side of the cabin would have turned out really cool. Still saved the photo though, but as you can see, it's just a little bit out of focus. Yeah, I should probably get my eyes checked on this one because I could have sworn I nailed it. So after finally killing the roll of film in my camera, I finally decided to let Miranda finish packing, and we decided to head out that morning. We had to be back home by the start of Monday, so nice, quick, long weekend, fun trip for everybody. Also, before I go, I want to thank everybody here for reaching 100 subscribers. That means a lot to me. And if you like this video, make sure to leave a comment or a subscribe down below. Other than that, maybe I'll catch you later.